Welcome back to the Hearts of Stone DLC of The Witcher 3. In the previous episode, I believe we solved a murder, or should I say gang violence, because technically it was to do with the Fizz-Tech production, and we found out that actually the Order of the Flaming Rose, which was disbanded quite a long time ago, I would advise you to play or at least watch some of the lore videos or just a summary of the first Witcher game so that you can understand the founding of the Order of the Flaming Rose. You can find out more of what they fought for, what exactly they were doing, all the mutations and augmentations to human beings and trying to bring demons upon the world pretty much. You can also do some research on the leader of this order. Look for the man Jacques de Aldersberg. He was the leader of the Order of the Flaming Rose, and find out why Geralt had to kill him. Besides that, I'm sure if you get all that information, you get a good summary as to what was happening in the first Witcher game. That was a very long time ago, so I can't really be specific. I haven't played that game in millennia. But anyway, back to the Hearts of Stone DLC. Apparently the Order of the Flaming Rose that still remains now within this DLC is just looking, well, not looking, they're just bandits, they're rogue bandits, they've gone rogue, they're just producing Fizz-Tech to make money. It's really tough for them after their order was disbanded and they were forced to flee or die or be imprisoned. That in itself is not such a good fate to have. But the way in which they decided to go about their lives is where they got things wrong, in my personal opinion. Killing innocent people, creating Fizz-Tech, getting people addicted, getting people paying them more and more for more drugs and narcotics. I don't know, it's not a good way to go about your exile. So we found one of those Fizz-Tech producing factories. We found the killer of Clivert and we took care of his order. Besides that, now we can actually head over to the main quest that we had come here in the first place, and that was to kill the monster that dwells within the well. Apparently the rumor says it's a prince that's been turned into a toad, but that's just folk and fairy tale. It's not really that often that story is actually true, and most people joke around saying that every woman is looking for their prince and they'll do anything to get their prince. And so there've been innocent people, innocent women, and even some innocent men who've come down these wells searching for their prince, and some men searching for treasure that the prince may have hidden. And apparently all these people have met their demise by this monster, this giant toad that they believe is the prince, but everyone knows it's just folklore, myth and legend. We come here to defeat that monster, and hopefully the main quest line will continue and we'll get a bit more main story as to the DLC. Meet up with some drowners, high level drowners though. I don't know, I appreciate them stepping up the difficulty. That I can get behind, because I found that the main game was just a little bit too easy as compared to The Witcher 2 and the Witcher 1. But I don't know, I think I've spoken about this before, I prefer, oh, cutscene.
Oh, no, you don't. Hear me? Don't you dare. Please, don't do this to me.
Shani?
Geralt?
What are you doing here?
I'm trying to save his life. Help me.
Shani, calm down. He's dead.
I'm sure something can be done.
Let it go.
Damn it! All for nothing.
You did all you could.
Thanks, Geralt. It's, good to see you.
You too. Lost track of you after I left Vizima. Where'd you go? What have you been doing?
Long story short, I've been treating the sick and wounded as always, mainly at my clinic in Oxernfurt. But in Redania, I'm called on to help the army at times as well.
I'll want to hear the long story long, too.
Sure. But once we're out of these sewers.
Redanian army force you to come here, too? Or you just down here for a pleasant stroll?
Got our orders this morning. I came down here with a whole unit, but something attacked us.
The soldier. He's someone important to you?
His name was Knowles. Supposed to go on leave next week. Now he won't. Nor will the rest of his unit.
How many were they?
A whole squad. 6 brave boys. All dead.
What attacked you? Get a good look at it?
No. I started running as soon as it appeared. It was huge. Spat venom and made these slurping sounds. That's all I know.
Doesn't sound like a major necrophage or a pack of drowners.
No. This was one thing. Big, but one. Somebody threw a torch at it. Monster couldn't have cared less.
All right. Not afraid of fire. Good to know. Why'd they send you down here? Only if it's not confidential, of course.
I need a venom sample. From the beast that prowls these sewers. It doesn't just kill those who come down here, you know. The water in so many wells is contaminated. Folk are getting ill. Redanian soldiers among them.
Plan to kill the beast. Bring you a sample of its venom after I do.
Nice of you to offer. But I'd rather go with you. Collect the sample myself.
Creature's dangerous. You saw what it can do.
I'm a big girl, Geralt. I can take care of myself. And you know I'll get my way, so don't try and talk me out of anything.
Fine. Your choice. So show me where the monster attacked you.
This way.
Grating's badly bent. Something large struck it, with a lot of momentum.
I shut it as I fled. The monster must have slammed into it.
Glad it held up. Though now we need to find a way around it.
Is it worth searching outside?
Actually, just hoping the monster's blow we get one of the walls. Monster might still be here.
As I was saying, I prefer difficulty through enhanced AI as compared to just enhanced stats. I find that's just a lazy and cheap way of doing difficulty, just making the monsters hit harder or more health. I just find it very lazy.
From your escort?
Yes. That's them. Vern, Miklas. Poor boys.
Beast doesn't play around, apparently.
They saved my life.
Know them well?
Him, I met this morning. But Vern and I served together at the Battle of Dorian. Miklas only enlisted this Yule.
Sorry.
Once you kill this beast, we'll have to send someone down here to collect their bodies. Give them a proper burial.
What exactly happened?
We came in here and Miklas started looking for tracks. Then drowners attacked. The men made quick work of them. But Franz was injured. His leg. He and I stayed behind. I tried to bandage him up while Knowles stood watch. Then that beast appeared. Knowles pushed me towards the exit and ran at the monster. I turned around and saw him lying there, covered in a sticky substance. I ran back to get him, then dragged him to where you found us.
Where was the monster?
Well, Miklas and Vern had driven it away from us. And paid dearly for it.
Managed to get a look at what attacked you?
Everything happened so fast. I didn't get a good look, no. Only saw it from behind. I know it was large and slimy.
Gotta look around. Man you patched up, is he here?
Franz? I don't see him. Think the monster might have dragged him off?
Could have. Beast probably crawled in or out through here. It's deep.
Lower level of the sewers has been closed off for years. But Vern, the commander, had a skeleton key.
See if I can't find it.
Apparently, the monsters down here deeper in the lower levels of the sewer.
Be careful.
Back to more enhanced stats drowners. We'll still fight the same, but hopefully we won't struggle too much. We've met Shani, who is one of Geralt's old acquaintances. She used to work with, I forgot the order of the clinic that she used to work with, but if you, like I said, if you play The Witcher 1, you'll get a good grasp as to some of the things that are happening right now. She was in charge of patching up people who had been attacked by drowners and other monsters in Vizima. It was I believe it was a church at the time that she was working at, and she was helping Geralt solve a mystery, or should I say solve a murder that had happened within the city. There was a detective at the time, sadly to say I've forgotten his name, but you may search for some of the detectives that worked or were present in Vizima at the time. He was also helping us with the aid of this murder. Now, Shani was doing the autopsies for most of the bodies, I believe, unless I got her mistaken with someone else. But the fact that right now she's here patching bodies up and being escorted and getting samples, I believe I am thinking of the same person. I could be wrong, but those who can currently play The Witcher 1, or those who are willing to do some research, could correct me on that. But I believe Shani was the medic at that cathedral.
Geralt, are you alright?
I'm fine. You? How'd you get in here?
I told you, Vern had a key to the grate. Look, it's Franz.
What's left of him, you mean?
What kind of beast would do that? Does that mean anything?
Well, means our monster doesn't attack them. Seems they get along with whatever's prowling the sewers. Some kind of symbiosis. Interesting.
What?
Franz had a leg wound, right?
Mm-hmm. Just above the knee.
Managed to apply anything to it?
Yes. Some spirit, but that was it. Why do you ask?
Look, half of Franz's leg is gone. Monster must have chewed it off. Other bodies were untouched, except for the wounds they sustained in battle.
Are you suggesting the beast likes alcohol?
Mm-hmm. Mixed with blood. Doubt we'll learn anything else here. We need to find the lair.
Right behind you.
And now we need to find the lair of the particular monster, this giant toad. Moving around in the dark. You have to say I love the torch mechanics in this game. At least they pulled through with it, not like the rubbish, not like the nonsense that happened with Dark Souls 2 with the graphics downgrades and all the lies and I don't know. Dark Souls 2 to me, I really would like to believe that Dark Souls 2 never happened. But anyway, we're not playing that game right now. I'm done with that game. I'm done with that game. I'm killing some more drowners. I'm finding that the art sign is working really well for me here in the sewers. I believe the chance to stagger, the chance to drop is relatively low, considering I never put many levels into it. But I did increase my sign intensity in the character customization screen. I've got quite a number. I think I've got two. Yeah, I think I've got 2 greater blue mutagens. And the sign intensity is just increased, but I don't know. I don't remember if I checked this. But just going through the inventory to see if we got any notes. I believe I did when I walked through the door. I don't know.
Another unfortunate romantic. Came to lift a prince's curse. Found a hideous death instead. Poor woman. She tried to get out. Futile effort. Loads of slime here. Enough for your sample?
It'd be more than enough if it wasn't contaminated.
Redanian soldier. Came down to hunt the beast alone, maybe. Fool.
Seems as though many people have been coming here to search for treasure, to search for glory. Some to search for their princes and famed mythical stories, and it seems that all have met their demise. No one we know of yet has exited this particular sewer alive, except for Shani that we've just found. Apparently this lower section had been cut off for years. It hadn't been used as part of the main sewage system of the city in Oxernfurt. People just abandoned it and they're like, yep, we're done. So that means this monster of a toad has been here for an extremely long time.
Dead drowners everywhere.
Strange. Seemed the monster tolerated them.
Long as they don't get too close, I guess. Decaying corpses, slime everywhere, and that stench. This has to be the lair. Fresh and moist. Beast was just here.
I'll collect my sample.
All the tunnels and corridors converge here.
What now?
Need to lure the beast.
How? We don't even know what kind of monster it is.
But we do know it likes a blend of blood and liquor. Just so happens I've got some alcohol on me.
Well, I hope you don't plan to cut yourself or...
Relax. Plenty of bodies. I'll use one of them. Sample you collected enough?
Hope so. But I'd still like to get some pure venom. Once you've killed the monster.
To distill an antidote? No use for it once the beast's dead.
Not true. I have a few poison patients on hand. Besides, I can study the venom, test it, maybe discover some interesting properties.
I'll get to work.
I doubt I'd be much help in the fight, but you might need me afterwards. I'll look for a hiding place.
You'd be better off waiting for me up top, or back home.
But...
No buts. Wait in the passage for now if you have to, though I'd rather you didn't. But when the monster shows, you run for the surface.
Fine.
Shani, look at me. Promise you'll stay out of it.
I promise.
Good. Now go hide.
Be careful, Geralt.
that is one ugly toad. This fight was as difficult as even my voice is breaking just thinking about it. This fight right here took mental concentration. This fight right here took dedication. I don't know, maybe it's because I was playing it at the second hardest difficulty, but I would believe that those who did play at the highest difficulty really had a feast with this fight. It was really tough. The few things I can say about it, I can't really say for sure if my tactic of beating it is the most efficient, but I know it's very, it takes a long time, but it's definitely doable the way that I did it. Of course, the main signs that we'll be using here are Quen and Earden. Every other sign is useless. Ard does nothing, you can't blow this thing back. Axie is useless, you can't really stun it, or at least I failed with Axie and Ard, they just did nothing to it. Igni is very good to clear the places infected with smoke every time it releases its smoke bombs, because those smoke clouds are extremely poisonous. They take off a chunk of health if ever you roll through one. So if you feel that you are backed up into a corner and you really need to clear the area so that you can roll through, you can use Igni just so that you can get through that sticky situation. But usually, more often than not, chances are you've got some space to roll through so that you don't take extreme amounts of damage. But definitely if you stand in a smoke cloud for too long, you can definitely get taken out. Now, like I said, using these other three signs, Axie, Igni and Ard, I honestly don't know what you can potentially do to this monster. But with Earden and Quen, I can give you a very good strategy. But trust me, this monster has got high physical defense. So even though my strategy ended up working, I don't know if it's the main one, because there is a proper way of doing things in this game. Even though there are multiple ways to defeat your opponents, I could have just done what the game wanted me to do. Since I'm level 34, I've managed to upgrade Earden to the point whereby I can lay multiple AoE traps, or I can make one single target Earden turret, should I say. It zaps anything within a particular AoE, dealing damage and causing the stun to occur. This frog is extremely susceptible to the stun, and in doing so, it gives you a chance to land 3 hits. So there is no particular point in doing 3 light attacks, because the key number is 3. It will take either 3 strong or 3 light, and then it will hop away. That's just how the monster works. So if you find that maybe you are across the screen when you stunned it, and you're running out of time before it hops out of the trap, then fair and fine, you can do 3 consecutive light attacks. Or depending on how you upgraded your combat in the character development tree, maybe some people put more damage into their light attacks, maybe some people put more damage into their strong attacks. In my particular case, I upgraded the strong attack variations of Geralt, and I upgraded my Axie, Quen and Earden. So in this particular case, all the things that I've upgraded they promote heavy attacks and stunning. That's what this build is meant to do. I stun you with my Axie, or I put you in Earden and slow you down, and then I charge up very strong heavy attacks. Or in some particular cases against non-boss characters like humans, I can put on Quen. If we meet on head-to-head in a collision, my strong attack will trade with your attack any day in a more favorable situation than you would get. In that case, that I won't take damage, but you'll take a whole swing of a strong attack. The AoE of the frog's jump is rather large, so sometimes you may think that you're close enough to put down an Earden trap. But then the AoE of the splash will actually knock you out of that animation, because setting up the turret does require time. So in this particular case, use Quen on yourself firstly, so that if you do get hit trying to put down the sign, you don't take damage. I put the Skellige armor because it's got extremely high defenses to poison, physical, bludgeoning, piercing. In all regards, this to me personally is the best defensive armor. It is very tanky, it is very heavy, but it's very good. And considering the price at which it was bought or smithed for in Skellige, it's definitely worth it. But I didn't really experiment with other heavy armors that you can smith within the game. I didn't really experiment with the Witcher school armors because most of the armors I have are only on the second level and the first level. They're not actually on the max level where they're at their strongest. I'm sure the School of the Bears armor could be decent. It could be very tanky within this fight in terms of defenses. So you put Quinn on yourself and then you switch over to Earden. Whenever you get the chance, when it's not swinging at you and when you feel that you're not getting attacked, feel free to put Earden sign and then try step backwards. Make sure the Earden sign is between you and the toad. That way the toad will slowly try advance towards you while throwing attacks, and when it gets within the AoE of the Earden sign or the Earden turret, it will then get slowed. When it gets slowed, it will get trapped. It can't move. You'll see a purple, or should I say a pink electric current underneath its feet, meaning it's stuck to the ground. Similar to the first Kraken boss fight in The Witcher 2, the Earden sign will trap the monster and give you times to swing. So this is just a refreshing example of when the Earden sign is extremely good. It was the same in The Witcher 2. When you were fighting the Kraken boss, the very first contract that you got. But anyway, when it's like that, you go in, you give it 3 hits, you can augment yourself to do more damage with potions, but with me, most of the potions that I had were very, very powerful, but they caused a lot of toxicity. And since I didn't upgrade my alchemy at all, most of these extremely strong potions, for example the one that grants increased chance critical damage, increased damage from behind, and increased damage from mixing strong and light attacks together, which would have benefited me a whole lot in this particular fight in dealing physical damage, taking one of those would put my toxicity above 75%, meaning that when I now need to use my Swallow, Tawny Oil and Thunderbolt, I'll start poisoning myself and dealing damage to myself. And in this fight, this is a fight of endurance. It's not necessarily a fight of doing as much burst damage as possible. This fight is meant to take long if you're going to be using physical damage. It's just the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to test whether you're ready or not to do this DLC. I think that's what they put it. They put it as a progression gate to the DLC. Most people maybe came to this DLC below level 30 because the DLC recommends level 33 to play it. With significant challenges, but at least you'll be able to complete it. And so if you came here below that, chances are this boss would be difficult, but I'm sure you'll still be able to do it at lower levels. The key thing is just not being hit, and with Quinn and Earden leveled up somewhat, I'm sure you could potentially do it, but a base character, I don't know. A base level character, I'm not too sure. You can if you're really skilled, but I'm not skilled enough to do that. Weapons breaking, of course, because the defenses of the monster are extremely high, so the durability of my weapon is being laughed at by the monster, but we are making significant work. I think I died here a lot of times. I haven't died like this in The Witcher 3 in quite a long time. I think I remember the last boss that gave me a real run for my money was in The Witcher 2 when we fought Saskia the dragon upon the top of the tower. That boss fight took me quite some time on hard difficulties. But I think I died here like 5 times. Seriously, I didn't even know what to do anymore, and I started mixing it up, and luckily enough, I found a way to do it, a way that I could actually defeat this monster. But I appreciate difficulty in games. The only problem is that when I was recording this particular episode, it was, if I remember correctly, around 2 or 3 in the morning. So my fatigue from the day was setting in, and this monster was proving to be very difficult, and the endurance that it was requiring of me is a lot for someone who wants to sleep. For those who don't know, I actually do most of my recording at night.
Halavath, Galavekar. Gadarash I'll Woot.
What's going on?
Ah, he's finally come to. And he can speak human, turns out. Started thinking I'd not conversed in common the whole way, except maybe with me reflection in the piss bucket.
Where am I?
On the Albatross, or the Fakbarth Oil, as their strange tongue has it, en route to Ophir.
Don't remember signing on as a sailor.
Oh, you didn't, mate. They dragged you aboard. Seems you killed their prince.
Damn it, don't remember a thing. Just some sewers, giant toad, and some boots. If that toad was their prince, guess I'm lucky to be alive.
Depends how you look at it. I happen to know a bit of a theory. Heard them saying they come here on a mission, dispatched by their king to find their prince, lift his curse. Wagered their honor, and that of their families 5 generations back, that they'd bring him home, safe and sound.
And I killed him. Great. So, must think they can save their honor by bringing the prince's murderer back to face the king's justice. And who might you be?
Felipe Caligram, at your service. Petty thief, professional fence, and your guide about Oxernfurt. Won't have a bit of time.
And why are you here? You kill a prince too?
Well, to their thinking, I had a hand in this one's death. See, I was their guide. Led them down into the sewers. But not until after you'd cut their prince's gut open.
Sorry about that.
Not your fault, mate. When all said and done, could have sat on my arse in the alchemy playing Gwent. Didn't have to brag about knowing Oxernfurt better than my own breeches.
We been at sea long?
Dunno rightly. Not that long. Though, on the other hand... But what's it matter, any road?
Matters a lot. If they're hauling me off to hang me, I'm not in a hurry to arrive.
Me? I'm glad to be sailing to Ophir. I hear they got wild horses there. White, with black stripes. Always wanted to see one of them.
Sure they're not black horses with white stripes?
Nay, black horses with white stripes they got in Zanguebar. That I'm sure of.
Listen, there was a young woman, a medic, red hair. They capture her too?
Don't recall seeing anyone of the sort. You were alone.
Good. Means she managed to flee. Hopefully made it home. Tried to break out yet?
Used every ounce of charm I got. Nothing doing. Might be my affair is rusty.
My affair is non-existent.
Well, we'll be at sea at least a month. Could teach you something that time.
Elkal, Orial.
What's that mean?
Told us to shut up.
There's been a misunderstanding. Can I talk to your captain?
Alakal Sorkan, Galavatkar u Albata Agel.
Quiet, dog. You killed our prince, and you'll pay for that.
Gileam Valar, Carverepeler.
You'd be dead already.
Revhagar ne Aram
Vengeance is not ours to reap, Anna.
Dorgate ya Alamis.
We swore on our honor.
How do I say? Take me to your captain.
Valth alakhe ul Igulath.
What?
Elkal.
Vilth. Vilth. Alke ul Egulath.
Elkal. Inkal avre ikel ugehereven ulvitar.
What just happened? What did he say?
Said to sit quiet, and that you'll hang in 2 weeks.
Great.
Give it a rest. No point talking to that lot. All you get's angry gurgles. And they puff up, you notice? Like them fish. What's it they're called?
There anyone here who speaks common?
Ah, there's this mercenary with him. Looks Edirnian to me. He's the one recruited me to show him through the sewers. Oh, and the mage what leads them knows a bit. Heard him talking, but I doubt either will talk to you. How was you? Catch some shut-eye. Not go on flapping me tongue. Got a long voyage ahead.
Sleep's not what I need. Someone I can actually communicate with. That's what I want.
Greetings, Geralt. Remember me?
I remember. We met in White Orchard. You're...
Gaunter Odin, known also as Master Mirror. I helped you find your Yennefer. We meet again. And it seems you need my help again. Heard a noose awaits you. That is, if this slop doesn't kill you first.
Haven't tried it yet.
Doesn't look promising. Not unlike your situation. I could try to extract you from here, you know. Because you do wish to disembark, do you not?
Yeah, sure. But what on earth could you?
Oh, more than you'd ever expect. I shall help you, Geralt. But before I do, I must know you'll return the favor.
Right. Can't possibly get something for nothing.
Indeed. When all's said and done, I am a merchant. So, do you want my help?
Yes.
It's a deal. Once it's all over, we shall meet at midnight at the crossroads, neath the willows near the village of Yantra. Ah, and I must give you something to remember me by.
What's that?
A mark to show we're associates.
Who you gabbing with?
With no one.
Never liked boats. Not one bit. They heave like devils. Make me stomach churn. They'd be primed to sleep through the whole thing.
Didn't bargain for no storm. I fear that means a tidy jump in my fee.
To Ophir, get us safely. The king's reward will be generous.
What about the prisoner?
Before the king, we must bring him. On doing so, my honor relies.
Can't we just bring your king the bastard's head? Like we're doing with the other?
The other drowned. We could do nothing. We deliver live this one. Apart from all else, the hell the king is sure to condemn him to. I wish to see it.
What kind of hell?
Carring, flaying, and watering. This the punishment for regicide entails.
Yay, and we're free. We could potentially run away from this particular situation and move on to our objective, which is actually something I found very, very cool. The whole point of the disembarkment was to escape and go meet up with our acquaintance, but you actually have an optional objective of trying to kill all the Ophiri soldiers, which is extremely hard for me. As I was getting to learn the different magic that the mage had. It's quite cool that the Ophiri mage has different magic as compared to the other typical mages that we've been seeing in Oxernfurt and Novigrad, where they just usually use different variations of Axii, Igni, Ard, and all the different conventional magics. But this one seems like it's got some telekinetic powers, is using the sand against us, is twirling the sand on the beach, is causing explosions, is using the sand to transport himself and teleport, is using the sand to blast and all that cool stuff. He's got some cool powers. But he's extremely tough, so we need to try weather out all his fellow soldiers, and then hopefully we can try take him out. But like I said, it's completely optional. I could have died a billion times here, but I was just feeling a little bit stubborn. I wanted to test myself. I wanted to see how many soldiers I could kill, and I personally just told myself that if I do fail and I die, I can just simply reload the checkpoint and simply move on and run away from the fight. It was a cool fight at the beach. This boss battle was really nice. I'm liking the tempo so far of the DLC. Oh, run away! Damn it. It's really nice. The fairy soldiers, the different languages. It's a really good change. And I would like to believe that since The Witcher is based in Polish folklore, Polish and Eastern European, Polish, Hungarian folklore, I would like to believe that if you're to just look at it from a more geographic perspective, you can see Geralt and people similar towards him as the more Nordic people from northern parts of Europe. I'm not sure where exactly, maybe some different countries in Northern Europe, and then the more traditional places, the more places steeped in culture, maybe places like Valen, Novigrad. You'll be now moving into the Austro-Hungarian empires, different places in Poland and other countries I may have forgotten where the book originated from. And maybe if you had to look at the Ophirian soldiers, you could think of it as, I'm not too sure, you could either think of it as the Persian Empire of back in the day, or potentially the Ottoman Empire from Turkey, current day Turkey. So I don't know, just trying to put a little spin onto who these people could be or how they got to, because the thing is, the Ophirian soldiers did ask their leader that why don't we just kill this one and take his head back to Opheria, and the guide that we had met who was imprisoned in the boat did ask us, he did tell us that we are at sea moving on to the Ophirian kingdom to meet the king to get beheaded. So if we're thinking about that, it said what, a couple of weeks at sea, and if you look at the map that shows the extension of the Persian Empire in historical history, it was mostly over land. There were not many countries, Persian countries. Fair and fine, there were in the Middle East, but none that were directly connected to Eastern Europe. So chances are maybe in this particular case it was a sea voyage from parts of Eastern Europe, maybe Northern Europe, moving on towards the Ottoman Empire in Turkey. That's where the Ophirian kingdom could have been, if we were to look at it from a more realistic perspective. But if that's not the case, and these Ophirians are to resemble warriors and soldiers of the Persian Empire back in the day, then you can say you're going over towards the Middle Eastern side of countries. Maybe they were on a sea voyage from parts of Europe going through the Mediterranean towards the Middle East, somewhere like that. But anyway, we boarded back. We were back in Valen, and that journey did not occur. We are alive and everything's all said and done. Now our next stop would be to potentially find the man who saved us, almost got us killed, but technically disembarked us, and find out what exactly is going on. For those who remember White Orchard, the very first episodes we made of The Witcher, he told us that he was able to find, well, we had a lead that there was a man who was able to help us find Yennefer. We talked to this man. He's very mysterious. He didn't say much, but luckily enough we have people along the way who want to share their food with us.
Curious place for a conversation about art.
Anywhere is good for that. It's simply a matter of summoning inspiration. Vodka, for example, is a great aid.
Care to drink with us? To poetry?
Why not? I am a bit thirsty.
And when a man is thirsty, melancholy strangles his soul. Pour, Gascoigne!
Gentlemen, I am soused, pickled, crocked, and stewed.
Want another term for your state?
Don't be vulgar. What will our new friend think? Pour another.
Apologies, but when the going gets tough, how's that go again? Ugh, I gotta go.
What's the rush, Master Witcher? A neck has no hair. It shan't run off on you. Although, actually, it does have legs. Well then, be off.
We can't sit here drinking forever. We have to get back to the main quest. Thank you all for watching. I do love you, and hopefully we'll see each other soon.